Good gaming, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nadier. Today we're gonna watch some Noob play cEDH. In today's game, we're gonna have a Nadir something, a Kefka, a Wandering Minstrel, and a Jetmir. Shameless he begging as usual. Of course, please like, subscribe, comment to help with the algorithm. On screen, of course, you're going to see the QR code for my Patreon if you want to help me out. Quick shout out to Go to Combat MTG, one of the smaller creators that I played with a few weeks ago. Doing a shout out, trying to boost our community. Of course, go like and subscribe him also. Deck tech Nadir as so it was a weird deck. I don't have the list because it was a crazy shenanigan list. If I remember, when a token you control leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 on Nadir, and when Nadir leaves, put a create a number of 1/1 green elf warrior. And if I remember, you were sacrificing something to make a bunch of treasure with the War and Soul Trader. You were sacrificing the elves, make treasures, get the deer back. Some weird shenanigans like that. I don't exactly remember his combo. It's not one. It is what it is. And right after Kefka is going up the ranks recently. This is a super aggressive discarder, and everybody's hellbent except him. When he enters, everyone discards a card. For each type discarded, Kefka draws a card. Played against the Kefka yesterday, he was able to draw 7 cards in 2 turns. It's insane. Weird shenanigans, but it's something. Wandering Minstrel is a land matter deck. Lumra in the 99, kind of the same shenanigans. Amulet of Vigor in the command zone is actually super good. And Jetmir is it's not a win con less stacks, because Jetmir is the win con. If you get to 9 creature, all your creatures have Vigilance, Trample, Double Strike, which is pretty much enough to kill anyone. Problem is, it's a combat deck, so most of the time you will kill 1-2 player, and the third one will combo off. So we add a Savannah for Nadir, Spellskite, Gemstone, and Tarnished Citadel for Spellskite into for Kefka. Wandering Minstrel dropping a Mox Diamond and fetching for a land. So any deck that is using his commander a lot, Minstrel may be able to use it. Wow. Petal. So, okay. Mox Diamond, land, 2 for Wandering Minstrel, Petal for Esper Sentinel. Super good start for the Wandering Minstrel. Jetmir drops a Boseiju and Green Sun for 0. We'll try to go get a Dryad Arbor. So this is a good start. So for those that knows my hand, I'm the one playing Jetmir. I printed the Jetmir list, didn't double check it. The deck doesn't have Dryad Arbor, so I Green Sun for felt to find. Teru for the Nadir deck. Passes to Kefka. Kefka dropping a Steam Vent. Tapped because he doesn't plan to do something. 3 for Lightning Greaves. Wow, he is planning into dropping Kefka and attacking right away. Chromux for Wandering Minstrel. That's a green spell for something. For Wandering turn 2 is quite something. Although he is giving treasures to Teru. Of course, I add some brand new sleeves. Granite being dropped on turn 2. Would have been wonderful if I had a Dryad Arbor in the deck. Guess I don't. Oh, that Granite was actually super lucky, because otherwise we would have lost 2 cards to the Kefka, and most probably he would have drawn close to hate. Teteru dropping a fetch, going for nothing. Well, going for a land. I believe he's waiting for... No, he cannot cast Nadir. Politicking around because Nadir wants his commander. Planning on removing Dranit on my end step. Ikari Woodlot. So we are seeing... Having the One Ring turn 2 is giving him so much of a big advance, and people have Destroy Artifact, not Exile Artifact. 1 green for a Llanowar Elves. Tainted Pack for the Nadir player. So if I add Dryad Arbor, so speaking as a Jetmir player, if I add Dryad Arbor in the deck, turn 1 I would have Green Sun for Dryad Arbor. Then I could have went turn 2 for Dranit and Llanowar Elves. So I am slower from 1 for no reason. Tainted Pack flips into Voice of Victory, and he says, damn, why? But it is a card. He is right. Making token with Nadir will, every time he makes a token, he'll put a +1/+1 on Nadir. Noxious Revival, Manavolt, Talongate of Madara. So on his turn, drop Talongates, make Dranit disappear, can cast Nadir. Not changing the target for Spellskite. He absolutely wants Dranit gone. Silence. Okay. So politicking around the table about he needs to cast 1 spell and it needs to not be countered. I am presuming he's talking about his commander, because sincerely, if you have a commander at 6 CMC, Nadir player saying, I goldfished and I always win turn 4, and we are turn 4. Fierce Artcast, Fierce Guardianship. So the counterspell is gone. What's gonna be his spell? Academy Rector. Okay. So he doesn't have any sack outlet. Calling the Weak, sacrificing the Academy Rector. So he goes and tries to exile it right away, because Academy Rector, first it dies, goes to grave, then there is a trigger saying, when this hits the grave, you can exile this card and go get an enchantment. However, if you exile that, if you've got some graveyard date and you can remove that Academy Rector, he just doesn't search. So Food Chain, Nadir will have Calling the Weak gives 3 if I remember correctly. However, for Nadir is 5, 6, and from what we know, he could sack Teteru for 3. Oh, and each elf will be able to make him 1. So we cast Nadir, exile the... Oh, it's equal to its power. Okay, so exile Teteru, makes 3, cast Nadir, having 1 on 1 black left. Whoa. So sorry, it was going so fast, he says. So I cast Nadir, exile Nadir. And then Wandering Minstrel said, whoa, I will Gifts Ungiven. Yeah, because otherwise he would have exiled Nadir, made 7 black, could have made also 3 elves. And then every time he sack Nadir and recast Nadir, he's 3 mana up, because when... because his power, I don't remember his line. Let me go to Commander Spellbook. Okay, Nadir, it's Nadir and Food Chain. Activate Food Chain by exiling Nadir, adding 7 that can only be spent on creature. Choose to put Nadir from exile into the command zone. Nadir's second ability trigger, creating a number of 1/1 elf equal to its power. Cast Nadir by paying 6 plus the tax, so 8. Activate Food Chain by exiling a 1/1 elf, adding black, and for every elves that he sacked for 1 black, he puts a +1/+1 counter on Nadir. Repeat from step 5 until you control no elf, so you sack all 3. Nadir is now a 6 power, so he's gonna make 6 elves, and that way it's always +1, so he's gonna be able to recast Nadir, exile 6 elves, to get black and get +1/+1 on Nadir. And from there, he's always netting more power on Nadir that he's going to be using Food Chain for. It's an infinite +1/+1 on Nadir, infinite colored mana that can be spent on creature, infinite creature tokens, infinite ETB, LTB, and infinite Stormcow. Ooh, Lumra, Corrupt, Otawara, and Darkrit. 2 and 2. So it's gonna be missing 1 mana for Otawara. Gifts and Given into you, Lumra, Otawara, Corrupt, and Darkrit. Yeah, it's gonna be costing 3. But however, I could give him Darkrit and Otawara. Ooh, Crumbling Vestige. That is something spicy. Crumbling Vestige ETBs. It will give him a blue, colorless, and a green from the Bayou. Bounces Otawara. Use Otawara to bounce Food Chain into his hand. Nadir on stack gives us 1 turn. Cabal Ritual for Kefka. Sounding like oh, he paid for Esper. So 2 for Cabal Ritual, pays for Esper, drops a Cavern of Souls, Gemstone and Cavern of Souls for Kefka. Calling, we are gonna be discarding something. So it's a creature, artifact, and land. So he's gonna be able to draw 3 cards. Gonna be able to equip the Lightning Greaves, go straight into combat. As planned, Lightning Greaves to Kefka. Kefka will be most probably attacking Jetmir, because Jetmir doesn't have anything. Attack trigger, creature, City of Solitude, artifact, and artifact I believe for Wandering Minstrel. Drops a Mox Ember. Man, this Kefka is going insane. So this is what I've been living with Kefka usually. Red for a Rite of Flame. 1 red for Mana Vault. Red and Mana Vault for a 1 ring. It is what it is. So I am politicking that I might be attacking with my Findor, my Llanowar Elf. And people are saying, well, he has protection from everything, so you're not gonna do any damage. And it's not about the damage, it's about the message. And anyway, I've got Frenzied Ballot in the deck, so if I get Frenzied Ballot, damage cannot be prevented, I'm gonna do some damage through One Ring. Mana Vault for Wandering Minstrel, drawing 4 cards now. Oh, 3, sorry. Boseiju, who shelters all to make spells uncontrollable. Sure, tap, pay 2, add a colorless. If that money is spent on an instant or sorcery, that spell can be countered. My apologies, I was close. 1, 2, 3, 4, Scape Shift uncontrollable thanks to Boseiju. Floats a colorless and a green. So Scape Shift, they enter tapped, if I remember correctly. Scape Shift would enter tapped if he didn't have One Ring Minstrel. Since he has the One Ring Minstrel, which is a Amulet of Vigor, everything will enter on tap. So it's the same loop as Lumra. So I'm presuming he's gonna get Lotus Veil, Gaia's Cradle. No, Cradle is useless because he only has 2 creature. Mystic Sanctuary, Lotus Veil, and Port of Carfell. So it is a super complicated, well, it's 3 blue, black, tap, sacrifice Port of Carfell, mill 4, and then he's going to be able to return Lumra. So 3 black, 1 blue, Mystic Sanctuary will bring back Darkrit, tries to go get Lumra back, and then he needs to trigger the Lotus Veil. Thinks what? Targeting something else. Which creature does he have? Oh, it doesn't Port of Carfell doesn't target. It's return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Lumra ETBs, discard a mill 4, bring all the land back. You will bring back Port of Carfell, of course. Going deep, Port of Carfell's, Boseiju, Crumbling Vestige, that Ikari Woodlot. Holy smoke, he has way more than enough. Little quick chat about Echoing Deeps. As he is bringing a bunch of lands back with Echoing Deeps, it's the same shenanigans as when you try to transfer with Goblin Welder. Echoing Deep cannot ETB until he has a target, and when he is asking for a target, all the other lands are in his graveyard. So he can target a land that was in his own graveyard that is coming in at the same time as Echoing Deep. Oh god, he has Otawara. Oh, so he has 2 bounce lands. So he's gonna drop all of them. Aurora will well, okay, so he drops two, but he drops all the land. Aurora, Boseiju, Crumbling Vestige, the bounce lands. Puts some mana in his pool, and he will bounce Aurora back to his hand. With that, what he is going to be able to do is Aurora Lumra back to his hand, and while he does, and with that, he's going to be able to recast Lumra to be able to keep doing this loop infinitely. So even if we wanted to do something, it's going to go infinite Lumra and then pretty much go infinite, because it's going to be also going to be able to fetch with his two fetches, and then he grabs all of his lands, and it's a crazy loop. I'll put the loop on the screen. Congratulations, Wandering Minstrel. One of the other decks that is super different. Lumra was different. Wandering Minstrel is also super different. Showing up Snap. Oh, because he was saying, if you Aurora, I can Spellskite, and then with that, he could also just Snap. Showing that he completely had it if nobody had any counterspell. Congratulations to the Lumra player. Please, if you learned anything, or if you didn't learn and want to place a comment below, I'll be happy to have a chat with you. Of course, like and subscribes. And everyone, I hope to see you at the face-to-face in Ottawa on September 7th. If you're there, I'll be happy to have a chat with you. I am trying to get t-shirts. I'll see if they are in time. In a worst case scenario, love you all, and I'll see you guys next game.